And I'm live. Hello, everyone. Who we got in here? We've got Ellie Orchard. Howdy, Ellie. Got Aldemir. How's it going? Oh, by the way, Aldemir, my niece is going to Hawaii in 4 weeks. Just found that out last night. She's not going whitewater rafting with us because she's, for some reason, some silly reason, choosing to go to Hawaii instead of go to Maine. Go figure. So we've got three folks in here. I did want to mention I don't have a guest tonight, but if anyone wants to come in, anyone's welcome. And for the topic tonight, I thought, and Love Them Labs is here. And talking about Loving Them Labs, I've got 1 and 2 right here. Come on, boys. Up, up. Say hello to Love Them Labs. Hey, don't be rude. Say hello. Okay, you're up. Come on, Frankie. Say hello to Love Them Labs. There we go. And so Aldemir, yes, I think it was a poor choice. She could have gone to beautiful Maine with all those tin roofs. Instead, she's going to Hawaii. And Love Them Labs said hello. So I thought today a good topic might be what's going on with some of the beard companies out there. I've talked to a number of beard companies that a few months ago, a couple of them mentioned that they hadn't had a single order in a month. And pretty much most of the beard companies you talk to have mentioned that they're having a bit of a rough time. There are some standouts that seem to be doing extremely well, but for the most part, these small batch companies seem to be kind of having a rough road. And I thought I'd mention too, as far as what I've gotten beard tonight is Mudcat Whiskers. Who have we got here? All right. Good for you. I've got to find out which island she's going to. Mark Brown, how are you? Today I've got Mudcat Whiskers, Thick and Awesome in beard tonight. And if you don't mind mentioning what you've got beard, but yeah, from what I've been hearing, these companies are, really suffering with the economy. I know personally, I put in some orders about 3 weeks ago, and after the fact, when I was, taking care of my bank account afterwards and realized how much I had spent in one night, I kind of, I don't like being wasteful. And when you spend, 160, 170 bucks on beard products that you don't need, it gets you wondering. And there's so many companies out there that we all love, but you can't support all of them. And I actually, Bluebeard's Talc and Trim. And what did Mark Brown? In beard is 2 oils from Copper Johns. I wonder which 2. Rockin' Manly Bastard, Oil and Butter. Manly Bastard, that's a new one that came out, but I'm not sure what's in that profile. I'm sure once I see it, I'm still not going to be able to. They're so complex. There's no way to. And like it up. Hell yeah! I am curious to see what's in Manly Bastard. I'm pretty sure I took a look and thought I'd hold off for now. Oh, that's right. Lux has got a new website. I will say that I wasn't thrilled with the old website. It wasn't bad, but there were 8 pages of products, and flipping through them and then remembering what I looked at and, trying to, keep track of what I'm going to order as I go through all 8 pages was a little difficult. I love when product companies have a page where they list all their scent profiles in one place. I really think that that's the way to go. Yeah, I think, in fact, I just got a sample box from a new company, brand new Rhode Island Grooming Company. my barber, I just got a haircut yesterday, is friends with the owner that started up the company. I'll be trying that out over the next few weeks. And because they're in Rhode Island with me, I'm thinking that I'm going to get to know them. And I've got to wonder when people start up a beard product company, what they expect, if they realize how saturated the market is. And, as I said, I know there are some companies out there that are doing well, but there are an awful lot that are struggling. And Woolly Wizard Beard Oil Roulette Week 79. And I just saw Woolly Wizard's list for his upcoming, and I don't remember what number that was. In fact, I meant to order Woolly Wizard's the profile that they came up with on the one I did. True North Beard Company is another company that's local that I've been meaning to hit up on Instagram. I love ordering from local companies. For one, shipping, 2 days, order it and it's there is always nice. So True North Beard Company, I've been planning to get in touch with you. Then I just used your discount code for that new scent. What is Mad Scientist from who the heck is it from? I get a little flustered sometimes. It is from Voodoo Men's Craft. And the product went live at, I believe, 12:06, and I ordered at 12:07. So hopefully I'm going to get one of those cool purple bottles. And you saved me $5. So thank you. Week 79 is the one. Okay. You know what? I had told, when Voodoo, Alex from Voodoo Men's Craft was on, I mentioned that I was going to purchase Mad Scientist when it came out. I also told Tyler that I was going to order that week 79, but I forgot about it. Yeah, needs and wants. I personally, if I wasn't doing reviews, I've got enough products to last with plenty of choices and, variety, and never have to order another product for probably 2 years. And 2 is the name from CJ. That probably wasn't meant for me. From Copper Johns, it's his 2nd anniversary scent. I know Copper Johns was coming out with something, but I didn't check it out. 1912 Butter and Beer tonight. You know what? 1912, I think I did that video where I mentioned that I couldn't take it the first time I tried it 2 or 3 years ago. And I've really come to really enjoy 1912. I think of it as almost a sweet scent now. I should probably put it in tonight. I put in a very mild scent this morning. So David Brown. All right. Hey, Gary. And Corey mentioned that they added a scent profile page to their website. I think that's a great idea. It really can be kind of frustrating going through the pages and trying to remember. If I go to a company's website, I'm checking out everything and trying to come up with 2 or 3 scents that I want to get. And, by the time you get to the last scent, sometimes you can't remember what exactly. Rhode Island accent coming on strong. There's no such thing. We talk normally. Everybody else talks funny. Coming from someone from Boston. Yeah. And by the way, let me just mention, if I don't have a guest tonight, so if anyone wants to come on, I've got that's up at the top of the chat. Feel free to come on in or not. And let me try and remember where in the world I left off. And Mark says he's cutting back on beard products. My wife wants a new house. Cost of living is crazy for our groceries with 2 teenage boys. Well, yep, that can be tough. Get them to work. I saw a Facebook post from a local restaurant that I had intended to have ready to bring up. But basically, it was a plea to customers to local restaurants to keep in mind that if they are charging you $2 or $3 more for a plate, it's not because they're trying to get rich. It was a listing of different things they're purchasing and what they cost 2 months ago and what they're costing now. And it was incredible. If I can focus enough to bring it up and share the screen, I'll bring it up. It was really very eye-opening. Voodoo. Yes, thank you. I got it. And Ellie, I got prioritized last week on the Wheel of Doom. Daniel, the bearded. And so, yeah, a lot of us are having trouble. Luckily, I'm in a profession which is kind of recession proof. You know, people need an accountant, you know, especially around tax time, looking for those refunds, whether or not they've, you know, they're doing well for money. So traditionally, my profession is not impacted. Then again, you know, I'm making the same amount of money, you know, but prices are going up. Fortunately for me, I try and be ready for things. As soon as I heard that we were going to get, you know, somewhat crushing inflation, I stocked up on everything. I could not go to the grocery store for the next 6 months and I wouldn't run out of food. Hey, Ben, and I may be coming to see you tonight. And oh, Jolly Old Fat Man having a huge sale, $10.99 oils. Jolly Old Fat Man, I love his red line. And what else have we got here? Russ wore 19. And by the way, hi, Russ. 1912 oil and butter yesterday. You know something? I've thought about getting the butter, but I just, you know, I'll use unscented, and I just think that does well enough. I know Western Ram, but he doesn't. I didn't think. What does Western Ram sell? In fact, Western Ram, you're in here. I wanted to mention, I saw your video. You put one out about the gas mileage, and I watched it and I went to comment, but I think you had the "yes, it's made for children" clicked off on the video, so no one was able to make a comment. I did want to let you know that I watched it, but there was no way to leave a comment. Yeah, I agree. Scent profile page is a must. Haterade coming back. I went through that pretty quick. I think I did one of those biggest compliments for the Haterade. I really banged through that bottle. In fact, I would have gone through it quicker, but when I got low, I stopped using it, you know, just to kind of save it. And Bearded Metal Chef, hello, welcome. And oh, True North, you saw that on Facebook? A friend of mine sent it. Kevin, how you doing? Look at that beard. Holy smokes, that's one heck of a beard. True North, yeah, grocery cost us $300 a week 2 months ago. Now $439 to $450. Yeah, pretty much the only thing I have to buy is milk and bread. And you know, even things like orange juice. I've got a million cans of the frozen orange juice. I like the idea of not really stressing over high prices. So I went out and I bought probably about $500 or $600 of canned goods and maybe $800 in meats over like a month-long period. Having a freezer is the way to go. And yeah, I realized that early on that you know, it seems like a good thing. Yeah, it's for children too, but that blocks off those comments. And by the way, your mileage didn't sound bad. I've got a Honda Civic, and that gets 32. And if you've got a truck, and I think you said you were getting 25, it's not bad at all. And so back to the topic. These poor companies are struggling. And as I mentioned, I've got a company that I just got a sample pack for new companies starting in Rhode Island Grooming. I've checked out the website once. It's Simple Blend. And I'm really going to be interested in chatting with these guys in getting an idea of what they're going for and how they're planning to advertise it and get the word out. I know, I do reviews. I'm sure that helps a little bit, but we've got these reviewers doing reviews, but we've got the same, 200 people watching them. And as good as it is to have someone do a review of your product, I can't imagine it's doing all that much. It helps put things on people's mind. I know I see reviews and I say, oh, I've got to get that. And then, if I don't write it down or enter it into my spreadsheet where I keep track of what I'm planning to buy, then it's gone. And Corey's got a Toyota Prius, 45 miles per gallon. Yeah, we've got a Prius as well. I don't have a Prius, but the lady at the house does. She loves it. Gas mileage is great. And yeah, lumber went crazy through the roof. Yeah, well, in the beard industry is pretty much, it's not a necessity. I mean, it is for some of us, but in all reality, I mean, one bottle of oil in most folks could go 2 months. Most folks could probably go with spending $100 all year and get the minimum required product. I know some folks. Yeah, and it would depend on who's doing the review, what they say. Some folks get more, more action than others. I know that for myself personally, views are way down over the summer. I don't think it's, just me that my videos all of a sudden are suckier than they used to be. Because I check out other channels and I see that, other people are getting less compared to what they were. So, and then there are those that, get a ton of views no matter what. Mudcat Whiskers, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. I am. In fact, because you sent that to me, I had planned on, I usually do a video on Sundays, Wednesdays, and then this live stream. But I've made myself a special rule. I really need to get work done. And if I don't get whatever I don't get done on Saturday, I don't do it. And there's a part of me that was thinking with the low viewership of the summer that, if I don't get a view out on Wednesday, then, it probably wasn't going to get that many views anyway. But I will do a video on Dream Bomb this upcoming Wednesday. Beard brand, Temple Smoke and Beard Tonight. The one scent that I really enjoy from Beard brand is Four Vices. In fact, I tried getting Four Vices recreated by Luxurious Bastard, but I made a mistake in ordering it. I just named the Four Vices, and I could have sworn that Beard brand not only has the hops, the Four Vices, which I think is hops, hemp, not hemp, but some word for marijuana, and two other things. But also, I believe it has, and I went on the website and I couldn't find it, but I'm pretty sure it also has, I am so bad thinking of patchouli and what's that scent that's some sort of rope oil. It's Artist Man Classic Gentleman. Sandalwood. I believe that Four Vices, besides the Four Vices, has sandalwood and patchouli. And when I ordered my custom, I didn't ask for those. And so it wasn't really what I wanted. Yeah, I mean, Weatherbeard, if people only spend $100 a year, then it's the company's job to advertise and get 1,000, 2,000 active buyers through the year. And one of the things that I think is going to be interesting, having companies so close to me, Yeah, no, they're not the best in the summer, but you got to keep on going, or they're never going to get there. I'll tell you that for myself personally, I mean, I've been lucky. Views have been down a bit or a lot, but for I've got a video out there that was just sort of a spur of the moment thing I did that YouTube has been, sending people's way in the search engine, and now the thing gets 30 to 50 views a day for a video I did 9 months ago. And if it wasn't for that and the subscribers I'm pulling in from that, I would just be going nowhere. And, I also mentioned that we've got a lot of folks that are leaving the review area. I had someone hit me up on Instagram and said, "Oh, who's leaving?" When I made up that thumbnail and came up with the topic, I really didn't have a whole bunch of people in mind. I know the Cousins recently, or I heard that they stopped and they're going to move to some sort of podcast, which is good for them. In fact, talking about Daniel, he used a term once that I think perfectly describes it, that beard content on YouTube is a micro niche. And, if you're looking to, I would imagine some people get into this thinking eventually they can make money. And, if you're going into it with that in mind, into the beard content arena, it's a small community. Growth is going to be slow. And, to me, I would never, if I wanted to make money on YouTube, I'd have to learn how to shuffle dance or something. And let me catch up on these. 4 Vices, I love it. I only had a sample. I only used it once. I never bought it. And I don't know so much that I loved it, but I was surprised that I really liked it. But it was one of those little teeny things, little samples. It wasn't enough to really put in my beard. And I was shocked that I liked it so much. But I don't know if it was that the scent doesn't last or I had so little oil in my beard, but I didn't like it enough to actually go out and buy it. I'd like to stick to the small batch, guys. Pipe Dream, yes. Pipe Dream and Pipe Bomb mixed together. And yeah, well, Chronic has been gone forever. Chronic is one of those companies that I have a problem with hemp, and I went through about 3/4 of the bottle, trying to figure out whether it was just too humid that day. I didn't drink enough water, what was going on, why it wasn't working for me. I never did a review because I knew it was the hemp that bothered me. I need hemp to be in like the 3rd or 4th position to not really cause me trouble. And I mean, I don't know, but I've heard that Corey's doing pretty good. And yes, Voodoo Men's Craft released a new scent. It is something Mad Scientist, I believe is the name. And if you're one of the first 24 to order, it came in a really cool purple, half clear bottle. I ordered 1 minute after it was released, so hopefully I was in the first 24. There was part of me that thought, if I'm not in the first 24, that's fine too, because I don't really care about bottles. And there's a part of me that'd rather have someone that really appreciates it, get that cool bottle. So, yeah, David, Whiskey and Hardtack, they're calling it quits. I believe their site is still open to sell off whatever they've got left of their stock. And there were 2 scents that I thought about going to the site and picking up. And that was one there, I think it's their coffee scent. I forget the name. And then there's a scent that someone told me was their favorite scent ever. And I can't remember what it was. If I went on the website, I'd recognize it and pick it up. And but yeah, it's tough for these companies. We've got a number of them that have gone. Whiskey and Hardtack shutting down. From what I understand, it's not so much that they weren't making it, but just their age and they want to relax. And, you know, I would imagine most of these companies that get into this are doing it because they love doing it. But at some point, you've got to just make a decision that, you know, this isn't worth the time and effort. The same thing with people, you know, calling it quits doing reviews. You know, part of the reason I still do it, I enjoy it. The amount of time I spend doing it probably doesn't justify it, but I'm just too stubborn to quit. And what have we got? Oh yeah, Gary's saying if you win gift cards for a smaller company, you know, might be worthwhile to use it up. We had a local restaurant that closed down, and they were selling gift cards the same day they closed down. In other words, someone came in 3 or 4 hours before they shut the doors for good and sold them $100 gift card, which I thought was pretty bad. And I would assume that these beard companies giving out gift cards, you know, are not expecting to close their doors before they honor them. And if you did have a gift card from a company and they closed down, I would imagine they're still going to have some stock left, and you could probably, you know, get in there and get your products. Though Chronic has been gone for some time. Someone mentioned that. Nail Banger 777 they are. Don't know what that means. Yeah, I've got the Russ was nice enough to send me the Pipe Bomb and Pipe Dream mix. Josh Frank. It's one of my favorites. Great scent duration and can be a morning, nighttime scent. And I'm not sure which scent he's talking about there. Yeah, it is definitely a nice scent. It's got, you know, when I looked at the profile, it sounds right up my alley. And what else have we got? And those companies are bigger than YouTube, Instagram, and the hardcore beard people community. I would imagine that to really be successful, you've got to find another way to advertise besides just living in the YouTube and in Instagram world. I've heard one company owner during one of his live streams mentioning having some luck with some sort of Facebook ads that worked out well with him. And oh, you told Pete from Damn Yankees got to try it. Damn Yankee is one I haven't had in a long time and will be revisiting. Oh, Whiskey and Hardtack is down for good. When they originally announced it, they mentioned that they were going to keep it going for a little while. And I'm trying to think of the different companies, and Russ, you read my mind. The companies I think of are 607, just recently left, Beard Mana left, Whiskey and Hardtack, and there's also Bandbox Fellas, I think, is gone too. I won't. I'm too dumb and stubborn to quit, and I do enjoy it, but I do realize there's a trade-off. I pretty much dedicate Saturdays to, in part of it is I take my time. You know, I could bang out stuff quicker, but I do enjoy it. I do love doing it. I don't expect ever to make a dime doing it. And I do expect that it's going to take forever to grow because of the area that I'm doing it in. It's just, you know, something you've got to live with. Like I said, if I wanted to grow quicker, I'd do shuffle dance videos. But I do, switching to the reviewers, I've had a couple of guys that were starting up, you know, talk with me on Instagram, and I try to be supportive, but at the same time, I think to myself, you know, you might do yourself a favor by never starting, because it can get addictive. You know, even though the time spent doesn't, you know, time versus reward. And for a new channel, it's just, it's tough putting out a video and getting 6 views for months. Some guys grow faster than others, but it's a really tough road when you first start out. I remember when I first started making videos, maybe 10, 11 views, 5 of the views were family members. And I think it took about 2 or 3 months before someone in the beer community actually, paid attention and started talking about me and helping me get some people to watch. And anytime I know I'm not a big channel or anything, but when I see new guys coming on, I do my best, to help out and, support them. But it is tough starting out. It's tough to do it week in, week out, and you're getting those 10 views. And, I and I tend to think that it can be tough, even if you're one of these guys that's up around 1,000. And by the way, I did want to mention that anybody that feels like coming in is welcome to. And let me find that. It's got a star next to it at the top of the chat. If you want to come in, you're welcome. I just say something before you do, because people can be on that little screen below waving their hands forever and I won't notice. I'm doing that walking and chew gum thing, paying attention to the comments and trying to keep my mouth working. But I've seen guys who, are up around that 1,000 mark that take a break for a little while. And when they come back, I mean, YouTube is not friendly to you if you're not consistent. And they just, I've seen guys with 1,100 subscribers and I look at their videos and they're getting 14 views. I don't know if that's because people aren't interested anymore or because they were inactive for a while and YouTube decides that they don't feel like, sharing it. I would think at 1,000 subscribers, you've got enough people with a notification to get some action on a video. But, it's a tough road. It's a long way to the top if you want a YouTube, right? I don't expect to ever get to the top, and I'm trying to find where I left off. And I have no idea. Well, let me whip through these and I'll remember where I was at some point. But yeah, and when I first started, it was probably a decent time to start a couple of years ago. I would imagine the guys that started 3 or 4 years ago, had a much easier time of it. I think the earlier, which companies have been closing, Russ mentioned a few of them. 607, Whiskey and Hardtack. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Black Rebel, killing it. I haven't gotten anything from them in quite a long time. I never heard of Bad Dog, but I've only been buying for about 3.5 years. Yeah, it's hard to see them close shop. And Black Rebel, I haven't bought in a while, but I do love his products. And Luxurious Bastard, even Luxurious Bastard, I think it was 2 or 3 months ago, put out one of his luxurious lounge videos asking for help. Help me out. I'm not making it. He, said his bank accounts were going down. I don't know if that's turned around. It seems like he sells out, fairly often. And I would imagine a ton of companies would love to have his sales. But when you're doing that as your sole support, it's a tough road, even for a company with as good a reputation as Luxurious Bastard. He said he was having a hard time. That was a few months ago. 607 is leaving. He did release a new oil blend, but for whatever reason, I know he mentioned, I had him on here, and he mentioned he had another project he was going to work on. So I don't know if it was a lack of sales or a lack of time. I haven't talked to him about it. I thought about hitting him up on Instagram to see if he'd want to come on, but I just thought the topic of companies closing and calling a guy that closed, probably wasn't. E-Rock, how's it going? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, a lot of great companies, and you see these companies that have great products and you think they're doing great, but unless you're the guy, watching your bank account go down, we've got no idea. I know I buy a lot of products, but I'm not keeping anyone in business. If I love a company, I've got to wait to order from them again. In fact, Voodoo Men's Craft, I said I was going to buy it, so I bought it. But if I just did a review, I don't really buy what I want. I buy, to review. So and what's one person's purchasing going to do? Uh, why, thank you, Russ. I try to do a good job fishing at Chesapeake Bay. Good for you. You rock in the house. And let me catch up on these. So, anyone know of Brian from Beards and Banjos? Thank you for stopping by. We've named 4 or 5 companies that have left us. Anyone know of some other companies that we might not know of? I don't want to mention reviewers that have left because a reviewer leaving could be, a health issue or a family problem or, picked up another shift. So when I see a reviewer not putting out content, there's every chance that they're going to pop right back in. The only folks I can think of at the moment, I mean, and there are a bunch of reviewers that I've seen get around that 200 subscriber mark and then just say, you know what, I've had it. I don't have the time for this. But the Cousins, I heard, made an announcement that they're going to, I may have this wrong, but they're not quitting. They're going from YouTube to more of a podcast format. In fact, Beards and Banjos, one of those old time, I think of him as an old time reviewer because he was so established when I got into it and started. And I've got to tell you, I love his reviews. I thought the Cousins were awesome. I loved how they had those 2 opposing views going on. One guy would love it and the other guy not so much. And I think that was really a nice dynamic. And I've got to say, Brian's another one of those reviewers that I just absolutely love to watch his reviews. Always, thorough, straight to the point. And I am trying to keep up on these. Yeah, I'm not sure how many reviewers are kissing, but one of the things I've noticed is I usually, when things come up in the beard community and there's this problem or this argument or this controversy, I usually don't find out about it until a month or 2 after it occurred. My one little, foray into getting involved in something I thought was a mistake. That I like the way it is, where if there's a problem or a dispute, I don't even hear about it until 2 months later. I don't think it's that hard to avoid the problems. Slow, steady train inching closer to 2,000 subs. Well, congrats for getting that far. It's not it's not the kind of area on YouTube where super fast growth. The only guy that I've seen actually kind of grow super fast was Jay Cruz, Healthy Bearded. That guy got to 1,000 subscribers within, I think, like 6 months. But he's a hell of a showman. I can see why he'd get the viewers. Yeah, some one wheel videos. I'm planning to get back into that. I've been focusing on work. In fact, today I had really intended to get out there, get on a trail. I want to start actually walking my dogs with the one wheel because that way I can keep up at a steady 15 miles per hour and, they'll run out of steam before I do. And I've got a young lady in the area with a one wheel that I've been riding with from time to time. So but her daughter was going to a practice in a park that has a really cool cross country trail. Once the lacrosse season ended, our one wheeling on the trail ended. And Russ, Gary's asking if you mentioned someone closing. Yeah, watching the videos, engaging in the content, dropping a comment, sharing it out is something that I'm not the strongest at, for lack of knowing how to do it effectively. Nick H. Oh, and what does Daniel say? Understands the comment, but when people call reviewers kiss asses if they enjoy a product, reviewers are still enthusiasts as well. Yeah, who am I to say that anyone's opinion wasn't valid? Yeah, I try to always leave a video. I do have a kind of rule. If a video is longer than 15 minutes, I'll watch some of it. I'll watch enough to make sure that I'm not hurting them by watching it. I never go into someone's video and just quickly leave a comment and get it out so that I mess with their view time. If a video is longer than 15 minutes, I already know I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I'll at least watch 8 or 9 minutes of it. So that way I'm not messing with their average view time for the video. And I've watched The Commission a few times. Really, I think Beard of the North is a super nice guy. And I will hit you up on Instagram. And Mudcat Whiskers, you'd be surprised the impact one customer can have, even if it's just to give the maker a confidence boost. You know what? And I think that works the same way with reviewers too. The littlest thing can, I can remember times where, it does. I'm getting a little, tired of the whole process and thinking, I'm not getting anywhere. And then all of a sudden you see that, guy that leaves a comment that says what you said helped him out. And all of a sudden that negative feeling you had about the whole process kind of goes away. And Mark says the cousins are on podcast 17 already. They are funny as heck. I love the Cousins podcast. Now, I don't know what podcast 17 means. I never watch podcasts. Mark, if you want to share whatever information to get people to be able to go over and see the Cousins, please do. And David Brown says, Lex Spaster is my go-to always. The inflation is hurting everyone, whether you're bearded or not. And did Miners Beard Company shut down? I have no idea. I've never tried Miners. But I agree. Luxurious Bastard. I love a lot of companies, and no insult to anybody else. But if I had to choose one company and that's the only one I could go to, I'd have to go with Lux. Part of it is nostalgic. He was the first guy that I really, really experienced a lot of different scents from that were a step above what I was getting on, or 1,000 steps above what I was getting on Amazon. And I just got, and I love his scents. In fact, I think I'll do a giveaway. He's my favorite company, but I don't love everything he has. I ordered his, someone told me it was super duper orange scent. They did mention it was Orange Blossoms, Norse Beard, Bad Dog Beard, Uncle Donnie's Bastard Baby Beard, Wild Dog Beard, and Ace Beard, and Whiskey and Hardtack are closed. Yeah, that's a lot of these I've heard of. Norseman, Bad Dog, I heard of. Uncle Donnie's, I'm surprised because I thought they were, up there. I've heard a lot about Uncle Donnie's. Bastard Baby Beard, never heard them. Wild Dog Beard, never heard them. Ace, yeah, I mean, there's so many companies out there. Cousins left. Can the content creator? Well, Ken the content creator didn't leave. He went to be the content creator. And Mo the Shark is switching gears. Definitely guys are leaving. You know what? If you've got an area with such a small potential audience, and like I said, I've got some videos that got a good number of views, but for the most part, for your standard review, there's a cap on what you're going to get. Yeah, Chronic closed for a while, but Chronic opened up something else. I don't remember if it was Bandbox Fellas or what it was. And I think that, I'm not going to say, I've got this feeling that they might have, whatever Chronic turned into might also be gone. Yep, it looks like Miners may have closed their door. And yeah, Brian does an awesome job. Straightforward, right to the point. So Bearded Rudy says, one thing that frustrates him is that when he first discovered beard products, he bought everything that a company had to offer, then discovered that dozens of companies exist that work better. It's part of learning what you like. I've come to find that it's hard for me to find something that really does not work for me at all. For example, there are companies that have thinner oils. They don't work as well for me as oils that are more towards the medium or thicker side, but I've found it's difficult to mention that in a review, but also mention it doesn't matter. You've got guys that if they were using my medium to thick oils, they wouldn't work for them. So it's a difficult thing to navigate, being honest, but at the same time, making it clear that the fact that it might not work. For example, when I use companies that are heavy with hemp, I mention that it doesn't work that well as far as styling, but that you should ignore that because it doesn't matter. My beard's unique in that it doesn't love hemp quite as much as the rest of the world. Yeah, Jay Cruz, he's a guy too that announced that he was going to try and do the social media thing full time. If anyone can make it, I would imagine he can. He's got one hell of a personality and attitude. He turns everything into a party. And from owners I'd rather support than the first one I bought from. I hear you. Part of it is, liking an owner can really make a difference in who you buy from. But for me, for the most part, I buy based on the product. There are guys that I like and know, and maybe I'll buy partially based on that from time to time. For the most part, I'm not repeat buying all that much because I've always, Kevin from the Beard Shack, I really like the guy, and I've done a lot of reviews because I'm one of 3 reviewers that he sends stuff to. And if someone sends something to me for free, I feel an obligation to review it. I didn't pay for it. I should at least review it. But what was my point? Chronic just disappeared silently. I don't think it disappeared silently. I could have sworn he came on to someone's live stream and announced that he was done. But then didn't he announce that he was coming back with the second company? I can't remember what the second company was. Cowboy type brand who's closing in December. There was a company that's like a cowboy type brand that I remember Beard of the North reviewing. Was mostly all kind of darker, manly scents. That could be who you're thinking of. And it did have a cowboy name in like 6 shooters on the packages. John S. Well, there are market forces out of anyone's control. Reviewers ought to take some responsibility for the state of affairs. Beards and banjos. Guy was flogging Brio toothbrushes. I don't know what that means, flogging. But, and Brio is a beard product company. If they come up with something different, you know, in fact, I don't think I saw that video. I just wasn't interested in a toothbrush, but I don't know, John. I don't see the problem with, agreed. True North Cruise got a lot of heart. And yeah, I wish I knew what Chronic switched to. And I had one of those fancy, electric toothbrushes. I loved it. I went to Mexico for a little vacation and left it sitting on the counter. And so if I'm get smart enough to, because I know I've got to get one, I'm getting older, so taking care of your teeth is important. I'll definitely, and thank you, John. Instead of just looking at the regular, normal ones that my dentist suggests, I'll take a look at that Brio toothbrush and see what the difference is, price and all that. You know what? I think it was Outlaw. And you might know, I know you talk a lot with Beard of the North, Daniel. It was Beard of the North, I think, did about 20 videos altogether. And one of them, I believe, was Outlaw. And that might be the one he's talking about. And what have we got here? And stating that was not talking about Daniel. And I don't know if in this way I might be a kiss ass in some way, but if I don't like a product, one of the things that really worries me is unfairly criticizing it. For example, like Chronic, I never did a review because it didn't work for me at all, and it wasn't the product's fault. It was just my beard's dislike of hemp seed oil. In fact, even Beard Shack, which I love, it's got a little more hemp than works for me. My beard gets super soft, but it doesn't quite style the way I'd like it to. But then again, right now, nothing. My beard doesn't style for anything. Right now, I'm kind of relegated to wearing this thing all the time, unless I'm going to sit still and not move at all. So I can't criticize a company for not styling well. And what I try and do is in my reviews, I mention it doesn't style that well for me, but it's unique to me. So I try and be honest, but at the same time, not trash a company, when they don't deserve it. Outlaw is closing in December. I gotta say, December is a long way off. That's 6 months off. That's a long time to put it out there. We're gonna be open for another 5 months. And Mark says, episode 17, what's going on with Kyle and Joe? I don't know how to go to Apple, or I suppose I could go to Spotify and just, put the cousins in and see what comes up. And Lex's 4th of July sale helped me restock some stuff I'd been missing. Lex gave me a super duper code, and I wish I had purchased more. Oh, and I meant to say, I started talking about Luxurious Bastard. What the heck is the name of it? I've got Lex's site up, but I purchased a scent that really isn't for me. I used the oil once because I didn't really like the scent that much. I didn't touch the butter. I figured I'm not going to let it sit on my shelf and rot. It's just not for me. And let me look up his site because I'll give it away. And he's got the new site, so I can't find anything. Clearance. Sweet Grove. So I don't have to look it over. And I've got an oil that was used once. Dropper came out of the bottle and into my hand and back in. It's been closed ever since. If someone would like the oil and butter, what I can do as soon as I catch up with these comments is just do a quick giveaway. If you want, gently used oil, never used butter, and it's Sweet Grove from Luxurious Bastard. I'd rather give it away than have it just sit on my shelf and not get used. And Chronic opened bandbox and then had Chronic in bandbox at the same time, and then supposedly gone. Well, and again, I never tried bandbox because I believe he was still going heavy with the hemp. And you know what? I've thought about reviewers fail viewers by declining to compare products. No one ever says this lime scent from Company X is good, but skippable. Just get Company Y's lime scent instead. Polite to a fault. Maybe. I did my Blackberry video where I compared 5 different Blackberry scents and ranked them 1 to 5, and someone had to be number 5, which it wasn't fun to do, but and part of what allowed me to do it is there were 5 scents I liked. I enjoyed all of them. And but someone had to be the top scent, someone had to be the last as far as what I liked. Brian's channel is awesome, so is Daniel's. IBC is nice, they have many scents, and Justin is a good guy. IBC, I don't know what that is. Right back at you, Brian. And I can't keep up with the chat as far as who shut down. A big fan of Bayou Black, Mudcat Whiskers, too many amazing scents, and I consider Nick family. I'm actually wearing Mudcat Whiskers Fig and Awesome right now. And I trust Dan Command the most. What is my favorite oil for styling? Actually, Alley Cat, as far as an oil, I think has been the standout for me as far as styling. But the Feel and Beard, for me, suffered a little bit. It was still good, but what I loved about Alley Cat was the style. I don't know what it was about it, but it just, and I think at the end, his butter as well, really styled well. There are 3 products that have ever really kind of stood out to me, knocked me out as far as styling, and that was Smooth Butter from 607, and with the oil from Alley Cat, and the butter too from Alley Cat. For whatever reason, my beard just loved it. But when I say Alley Cat, the Feel and Beard, it was great. But if I wore it too many days in a row, my beard needs a coating oil, but not all the time, but some of the time. And if I wore Alley Cat for like 6-7 days in a row, then I'd have to switch to a coating oil to kind of get me back. It just absorbed too well for me. So I would use Alley Cat. Like if I was going out and I wanted my beard to look sharp and I didn't want, if someone touches it, to, come away with shining hands, I'd go with Alley Cat. It just was really a standout for me. Nicholas Z, thank you for coming in. Ken, you have to put What's Going On with Kyle and Joe. That's the podcast name. Oh, What's Going On with Kyle and Joe. Okay. And my cat says he's restocked a bunch of ingredients, so he's not planning on going anywhere. Good. Yeah, I mean, in maybe it's that Lux had been just doing so amazingly, and then with the economy, slipping, just wasn't used to, the new reality of the economy. And Sweet Grove was a thumbs down for me until the 3rd wear. Now I dig it. Some scents take time to adjust to. You know what? I considered that, but someone had told me it was super duper awesome orange, and I know it's not quite there. I've got to tell you, one of the scents that I absolutely love and can't get enough of is Diamond Hand from Luxurious Bastard. And the first time I put that in, I just tolerated it, and then I came to love it. Another one of my all-time favorites, I'm hoping it comes back, Black Rebel. The Chieftain, Cedar and Orange. If Black Rebel had offered samples at the time that I got that, and I got that in a sample, I would have never purchased it again. First couple of times I wore it, I didn't know what to think of it. To me, it didn't really smell like orange. And I went away on a vacation and brought it with me to force me to wear it. And now it is one of my favorite scents ever. I love Cedar and Orange. Right now, the only Cedar and Orange I can get is what's Beard Brothers, their Cedar and Orange. And that new company that I was talking about, Rhode Island Grooming, has a Cedar, Orange, and Lavender that I've got to try in the upcoming weeks. So, but you didn't like Sweet Grove, and I keep on saying I'm going to give it away, so let me just quickly bang through these comments. What I was going to do, and I just got a message on Instagram. I watch pretty much everyone I can, and I don't take everything I hear as gospel. Beard business, tough business. They are aiming at such a small percentage of the population. I think creativity is the key. Hopefully some of these quality companies can keep on going. Hell yeah. I mean, some of these companies that closed down had awesome products. And how about we've got 23 people in here. See you, Gary. And why don't we let me first get a random number jumper generator. And let's get a spinner. And what I'm going to do is see if I can share screen. and I'm sorry, I'm not so great at this. I know there's a way to share screen, and I'm going to figure it out. Damn it. I've done it before. Ooh, share screen. There we go. And okay, so what I'm going to say is pick a number between 1 and 25, and in about a minute, I'll spin it. If you want this gently used Sweet Grove from Luxurious Bastard, the oil was used once, the butter was used never. The only thing I did with the butter was open it up out of the tin foil, and I saw that it was melted. I put it in the fridge, and I never opened it again. Some crave novelty and got a bit of a shopping addiction. Yeah, you know what? And the government was sending out money like crazy. So do we still have any coming in? All right, let me do the share screen and I'll spin it and then we'll go back. And if you get prioritized, so sorry, but it's the way it goes. Share screen. Share screen. All right, let me hide that and let's hit this spinner. And, spin right in the middle. So I definitely can't cheat. And what have we got? 24. So let's take a look and see who remove and who had 24 first on my screen. So far, I don't see anyone. Nope, no one had 24. If you had 24 and I'm not seeing it, let me know, but there weren't that many entries. I don't blame a lot of people for not wanting a used. Well, the oil, like I said, was used once. I'll do it again this time. Why don't we do one between 1 and 15? And for whatever reason, I can't get this. It only wants to spin once, I guess. And am I going to make it back? Okay. And let me change the max to 15. We share screen again. Let's see what we got. Oops, somebody wins. 15. So let's see what we got. Let me get rid of this. So that was the first set. And I'm sorry, I'm not doing this in the most. I don't remember where the last set of numbers left off. And the next one started 2311. I don't think anyone picked 15 the first time anyway. Okay. I've got the split here. And it looks like Cody Stevenson. Let me just double check that. I hate when I say someone win, then I say, oops. Oops, sorry, guys. So, Cody, all you have to do is you can hit me up on Instagram if you have an Instagram account. And, yep, that was the only 15. Hit me up on Instagram, Bearded Accountant 1. Is that going to work for you to get me your address? And I'll mail that out to you. And congratulations, Cody. Woohoo. You know what? I wonder if I can't figure out what else I might have right now that I could give away. The other day, I was watching a live stream and something that was slightly used was given away. And I was like, in this case, it's just the oil. I swear I never touched the butter. So, and we're at, oh, shoot. I usually try and end this live stream at 9 o'clock because I don't like to step on the toes of Tyler, Woolly Wizard. He does his live stream at 9 o'clock for Beard Oil Roulette. And I've already gone past. It's 9:08. So sorry, Tyler, for going into your time. Hate to leave with 19 people in here. As one of my things, I was talking about YouTubers leaving. I can't think of million. There are a million guys I've seen leave. Thank you, Mark. One of the things, good night, John. One of the things that has been this goal that drives me, not to make money, but I would like to get monetized. Just to say that I did it, that an old guy with a gray beard can do something that's usually something 22-year-olds do. And I hate to leave because one of the toughest things to get is the 4,000 watch hours. To me, I mean, I'll get there eventually, but live streams are the best way to get there. Thank you, John. But I'll be back to it. I've already promised Russ I'll have a video next Wednesday. So I guess I'm going back to my normal Sunday, Wednesday, and then a live stream. As I said, I was kind of skipping Wednesday thinking the summer's slow and sticking to my rule that if I didn't get it done on Saturday, that I'm not going to, not work and do that kind of stuff during the week. But I appreciate everyone for coming in. Go and check out Woolly Wizard Beard Oil Roulette if you want to win a free oil over there in Cody, you did today. I'm sorry, one of them is used in Cody. Hit me up on Instagram, Bearded Accountant 1, and I'll mail that out to you as soon as possible. And everyone, thank you for coming in, and I'll catch you next time.